Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Substance live stream. My name is Wes, and I will be your host today. And I am thrilled to have with me today Jeryce. He'll share his inspirations and tips and demonstrate how he dealt with the challenges of bringing traditional art into the digital realm.
Hi
Hey,
everyone.
hey, Jeryce, welcome, man. Good to have you on the stream today.
Hi. So thank you for having me. No, I'm kidding. thank you for having me here. I'm very glad to be here and having the chance to show you what I love the most in the world.
That's awesome, man. It's a great pleasure to have you today on the show, as we'll call it. All
Yeah.
right, so today, why don't we start off? Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us what you do.
Okay. So I'm a I'm a 3D environment artist. So I mainly work in the AAA industry, and my main inspiration when I'm not working, of course, on video games is to work on African culture. So I made quite a few African art those several years, and I'm gonna present you one of my favorite one now.
That's awesome. And so we recently did. You recently helped us write an article for Substance Magazine, which actually showcased all of this work. I also want to mention that we have Maureen with us from our marketing team as well. She's in the chat. She posted a link to that article, so you guys can see a lot of Jeryce's work. And then also be sure to just ask questions in the chat. Maureen is going to compile those for us, so we can have some questions for you afterwards, Jeryce.
Uh, be nice with the question at the end, please.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll make them nice and easy for you. How about that?
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. So I'm gonna show you the project. So the main goal for this project was to show the traditional art of the Ndebele people who are living in the South Africa. So I did four different masks and the bust of representing the Ndebele woman. And one of the thing that I really wanted to try is to paint everything by hand and to try to avoid to use ID map, for example, and fields and things that will make painting easier. I really wanted to have this natural feeling, you know.
Yeah, that was one of the goals you had mentioned in the article was that it's basically you have this background of traditional art and you're just seeing like how you can translate that to well here in
Hmm.
digital with Painter. And so
Yes.
yeah, the results are absolutely stunning, of course.
So I decided to. The idea was to because I really love African mask, as you can see, and I had this thing in my mind like what Esther Malongo is the artist who inspired me, the Ndebele artist who inspired me for those colored patterns. And I wanted to really see and to try to have this Ndebele style on masks. So I chose four different masks from two different countries. For example, here on the left, you have the Odate one, who's coming from Ghana, and on the right you have a special creation from mine. And now you have the Kifwebe one, the round, weird-looking one with the mouth open, who's coming from Congo too. And on the right you have the one from Ghana. So now I'm gonna show you a little video who's showing all those masks and busts together.
Okay, cool. Let me play this video here. All right, so I'm playing this video. It doesn't actually have sound, so I think you're
Hmm.
gonna talk us through some of this, right, Jeryce?
Yes. So the package, the thing in Debele Woman is that they show their statues through fashion and colors, of course. So with colors, they paint everything. They have to paint everything like houses, jewelries, like everything they can paint by hand. So I really wanted to have this feeling of Ndebele woman painting all those masks and exposing them in their house or on the street, you know.
Yeah, and so in the article, you talk a bit about the actual tools that Esther, I think, used. Right?
Mm.
What kind of brush was it?
So it's very funny because
All right. The video's
when
over, by the way, too. I was just gonna let you know, Jeryce.
yes, so I'm gonna talk about her first. So Esther Malangu, um, she's a natural painter. She was painting since she was maybe 10, and it's in since it's in her culture. Um, she became really good at it, and a French curator spotted her and made the arts available through the world. And the first thing that I was very impressed by the lines. The lines are very straight, and I was like, is she having like is she painting with a ruler or some tools? Or I want to know. I want to know because I'm gonna need it for my project. And she's actually drawing all those patterns just with a chicken feeder.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So no rulers, no, just chicken feeder, and those lines are very straight. I was even me with my hand, my tablet, my computer, and everything. I can't make those lines that straight, you know. But I'm trying. That's the whole purpose of this project.
Wow. I think that the quote from the article is she said the ruler is in your mind. Is that
The
correct?
ruler is in your mind. That's a
Yes.
beautiful
I
sentence,
know.
but
I love that. That was really
the ruler
touching when I
is
read
in your
that.
mind.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
tried to see it in my mind, but it never came.
Yeah, yeah.
The ruler never came.
Oh, okay.
So now you can see, for example, like the houses, some pottery, some a BMW. She painted a
Wow.
BMW.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, a whole. eh, That's that's crazy, and still with the chicken feeder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, still with the
Yeah, yeah,
chicken.
yeah.
Okay, wow,
Yeah,
okay.
she painted the BMW with the chicken feeder.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to, you know, the Ndebele woman, you know, to give a tribute to the Ndebele woman. So I decided to make the bust. And for the bust, I was really inspired by the work of Charles Cordier, who is a French sculptor. He have this thing to show the beauty of an African woman with bronze. It's looks very realistic, realist. You know, it's
Yeah.
striking the details and everything. It's simple at the same time and very detailed. And but in African art, love to do. It's not when you see some sculpture or some statue or mask, they are not very realistic, photorealistic. You know, they are a little bit stylized. So I searched a bit in uh, sculptures in Benin, like this one and the other one. You know, the black and the gold. They like. I love this mix between those two colors, the black and gold. And of course, I needed to put the features of a Ndebele woman, the neck rings, all the pearls, the big pearls colors, the a lot of those things that make they are making the Ndebele woman who she is. And after that, I needed my masks. So I did a lot of research on the mask. And the one that I love the most is the Kifebe one because of this shape and the very funny mouth, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, this one is one of my favorites. And the thing I very like in the Kifebe mask is that there is many variation of it. And I had to choose, and this one, I don't know, I really love it. And for the other ones, I choose Ghana. I choose to make some mask from Ghana because I think the mask from Ghana are the one that I saw the first. You know, this big triangle shapes. You know, these big long rectangular shapes. You know, and I really even the look that they have. You know, they have a really strong, have a very strong look with it's looking like they have mean, you know, a mean mean eyes, you know. They're looking like they have evil eyes, but I don't know, it's really strikes me.
Yeah. Maybe just serious, right? Maybe just very
Yeah,
serious.
very, very serious.
Yeah.
And I needed for painting those Ndebele patterns, I needed a white background, you know. So I tried to search for white mask with white colors on it to be like to have a canvas, you know, for my Ndebele patterns. So I'm gonna show you the painter files, and we're gonna see my layers and everything. But before going to Substance, I really needed to learn again, to know again the way, you know, to carve mask and sculptures. I think that to know the way really helped me on the my how to organize my layers, how to think, how to even the grunge mass map and everything that helped me a lot. I think it's really good. It's a really good way to make a props like before making it to know how it's made. So there is three steps. There is the carving step, the polishing one, and the paint one. Now I'm gonna open
Man,
Substance.
that has to be probably my favorite slide of your presentation, man. Because I mean, it's like I think a lot of times maybe we don't think like that, but that's brilliant that you did this, researching the actual real world processes and then how that would translate to digital. Man, that's awesome. It's very helpful for everybody to see.
Yeah, thank you. I think yeah, that's really helped me because before that I was really gonna go for just the shape, just apply a black colors and that's it. I needed to know every details, every things that I can use in Painter. So we got the Keyframer one opened, and you can see that I really tried to keep everything simple. I got my layer of painting and I got my layer of wood. So if I turn off the painting, just gonna see the bare wood on the mask. So for this bare wood, I just used a couple of layers. I didn't use a lot. I had I'm gonna turn off this. So yeah, this is the most important one. So I used the wood rough the rough wood that the substance already have in this shelf, and I tried to make the materials follow the shape of the mask. For example, uh, you see on this one, I made two of them. I made an horizontal one and a vertical one that I masked with a black mask. For example, this one, the horizontal one, is just following the nose and the mouth, and the horizontal one is everywhere.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
just put the vertical one in top of it. I really wanted, you know, to those lines, those vertical lines on the shapes. And after that, to have this nice that I'm gonna call cell because the first thing that I was thinking about when I saw this it was cell mask, you know, the cell noise. So I used this Perlin noise, this parallel noise that I blurred a little bit. I blurred this noise a little bit, and I inverted. And the first mistake that I made with this noise is that I dilate this noise everywhere, and it felt really non-natural, So I put one. I have two of them. I put the first one on those parts. You can see them on those parts, and the other one on those ones. So I used the curvature map for making this mask. I used the curvature one. I tried to clamp it. I'm gonna show you how I clamped the curvature one. Paint, blur, I blurred it a little bit. No, oh, I didn't use a curvature map. I just painted with hand. Huh, nice. I'm surprising myself.
Yeah, great.
So yeah, I painted the mask by hand. Yeah, great. I mean,
Like,
great. So yeah, to have this nice little things. You can see them a little bit over here. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, now it's better. I wanted them to be here, but not too much. If it was too much, I want slight, light details. I don't like when strong details are everywhere. So after I made that, I painted directly. I'm gonna boom, boom, turn off all the paints. Ndebele. Yeah. So I started with the white paint, then the black one, and the red one. And I didn't use any ID maps or whatever. I just wanted it to feel natural and to have fun with it, to be able to paint on the mask with my tablet and make some mistakes and forget some places and have this natural look on it. So black one, black part, and then a red part. And at this point, when I had the base colors, uh, I started to paint the Ndebele patterns. So Ndebele patterns. So I started by making the black lines that I'm gonna show. I'm gonna turn off this all the colors together. So I started with the black lines, and that was the most difficult part, I would say, because yeah,
so
not
did you do
having a
these
rule.
freehand as well? Like, I guess that was the goal,
Yeah,
right? You did them freehand.
that was the goal. I just have one paint layer, and I jumped on it, and it
Did you
it was really
did you
very
make
very very hard.
oh, did you make a specific brush for this? Like, I guess to try to mimic the, like you had said earlier, the in real world chicken feathered. Like, did you try to make
Mm.
an alpha or something that would?
So at first I was thinking on going to Substance Designer and try to make a chicken feather alpha, and it was hard. It was hard. It was really hard to
Yeah,
be honest.
yeah.
And I saw this. I saw all those brushes, all those new brushes, and especially this one, Kyle. Let me find the
Yeah.
real name.
I think it might be
Those
hidden a
Kyle's.
little bit. Let me move you.
Yeah, it's
I'm
really
gonna move your
hidden.
view. There you go.
Yeah,
Let me try moving you over
right.
this way a
The
little bit. There
Kyle's
we go.
inbox, all those Kyle's ones. So I was just trying each one of them to have the the best feeling. So, for example, with the Kyle, and what I love about those is that they have parameters. For example, you can just wait, advanced blending.
Yeah, so these brushes are part
The
of one of our
mixture.
recent updates where we support the Photoshop ABR brush type. So I think the
Yeah,
team actually used those, and then they added some procedural effects on top of them. So you get like that standard Photoshop brush, but then a little bit of substance magic on top of it.
yeah. So the thing that I wanted to avoid is this, just to use my mouse and make straight lines like this. It will be easier and faster, but I wanted to struggle.
Yeah.
I wanted to struggle and to learn how to hold the pen properly and to feel, to get closer a little bit from those Ndebele artists. So I really tried, with and using the pen pressure feature to have this natural, look. Even if I was making mistakes, if it wasn't very straight, that was the look that I was searching, that kind of things. And my substance is saving, right?
Yeah. Of
Auto
course. The
save.
autosave, yes.
But yeah, with the new feature, the pen pressure and the ability, to have everything, uh, all those settings, the roundness, the jitters, it makes things more easier. So
Yeah, and in case anyone missed it, these brushes that you're using, oh, thanks. I'm part of the art now. Cool. So, in case anyone missed it, these brushes they ship with Painter, so you didn't in the end you didn't have to create something yourself. You just used what was in the shelf.
no, I just, yeah, I used everything that Substance already have. I didn't import and things. I tried to import Photoshop brushes. You can see that I have a lot of Photoshop brushes on my shelf to test the new features. The fact that now you can import brushes, that you can find some brushes on internet and make them by yourself, and to import them directly on your shelf by just drag and dropping those files are making things way easier. So I was just doodling like this and having those Ndebele artworks in my computer as inspiration, and I was trying different things. And after I made all the black lines, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I made those layers. I made those different colors: gray, yellow, pink, purple, blue, red. And I was just, for example, I'm gonna add another paint layer.
Well, and you're also using the color coding on the
Yeah,
layer
and I was
as
just,
well. Is that handy for you? You like that? That's a good feature, I guess, for your
yeah,
organization.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I need more colors, by the way. I need more
Oh,
colors.
yeah, because there's only a
But
subset of colors. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
yeah, but that make things, yeah, very very. Look, I can just, even without like, just even without reading the names of the layers with the colors code, I can just quickly go on one layer and just paint, saving. Come on. So yeah, so just like this, trying to paint to follow my black lines. I was just feeling like a kid again, just spending some time doodling and coloring shapes, and not trying to have a to do some big mistakes. So even mistakes, I made a lot of mistakes because I'm not a good, painter. But I wanted to let them be, to make those mistakes happens. For example, if I was painting and going a little bit too much on the black paint, sometimes I would just leave it,
Oh,
because
yeah.
to be honest, to be fair, I'm not a good painter. If I had this mask in my hands, I would make those mistakes. So I really wanted to feel real.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, it's that you're making those
And
kind of decisions. Yeah.
yeah, but you really have to be patient. And I learned about patience with this this one because I don't know why I decided to make that many masks, to be honest. When I was painting, every time I was like, oh, there is four more masks to paint.
Yeah.
But I think it's the right time to learn patience, to learn
Yeah.
about patience. So after I made all those colors, I need to. I'm sorry, I'm gonna erase that Wes.
Okay. Yeah, please do. Yes.
So after all that, boom, yeah, I was just, and the first mistake that I made was to stay too longer in one view. So sometimes I was making those patterns very, very small, and I wasn't really seeing the big pictures. So, for example, all the triangle was way too noisy at the beginning. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this one, this one, this one, and when I was scrolling back, all those details were gone. So I think you always need to try different views to see your props in different views, and especially the for the main render. So yeah, and when I made all those, when I was done with the colors, I made those little imperfection, those little woods, the painting going off, because I really wanted to, for this mask, to have an old feeling. So I just made all those masks in the all those colors, all those layers. I put them in just one big layer that I called Paint Ndebele, and I did all the mask, the masking, all the masking stuff on this one layer. It's made things way more easier and organized for me.
Can you do the alt click on that mask so we can take a look
Yeah.
at what it is? Or yeah, go through them step by step. That would be even cooler.
So the level, I inverted everything, and I added elements by element, mask by mask, with the fusions options. And that's my thing, but I personally like when I have everything in one mask,
Yeah.
and I can just paint on this inside this one, and everything will be automatically masked by those masks.
And this is kind of coming from one of the questions I see that's been coming in is like, how did you do the edge wear? And so on this layer, like you said, is your kind of overall global mask between the paint and the wood below, and that this is where you're
Yeah.
producing those effects.
Yes. So after those imperfection, I needed to add some slight dirt because the mask was very shiny. And the thing is, I had this question about why those masks are shiny. There is some Ndebele masks that they are very shiny sometimes. And the thing is that they are using some oil palm, palm oil, to make them shinier, to make them glossy. And since it's an old one, I added a few dirt layer on it, like this one, on the cavities and with the ambient occlusions. and also this one. Yeah, you can see that if I clamp, augment the density. Yeah, this one is just a slight, slight curvature one on the edges. And this one, yes, is more on the cavities.
So for these overall effects that you have, it looks like you are using a lot of generators, but with paint effects. Would you say the most hand painting work you did was on the geometric shape patterns?
Yes, yes, yes. So, and I sometimes I like to add, as a final touch, to add a little sharpen layer to gain a few more details on my props. So I put this sharpen filter very slightly at 28 opacity with even the, yeah, just to try to gain more, details. I don't like when it's too much, so I try to put it very slightly. Yeah, because it can become really very noisy very quickly. So I think if you are using this filter, you need to be careful with that. But it's a good way to gain a few details, like for example here, slightly, and yeah, I like it. So I'm gonna open another one because this Kifebe one is the only one with who hasn't been polished. Just after the bear would pass, I just painted all over everything, and that's why you can see those cell noise. But with the other ones, I'm gonna open the Odate one, discard. Mm, yes, yes. But with the Odate one, the black ebony ones, who has been polished, it was a little bit more. I'm not gonna say easier since it's another materials, but since it's way more glossy and soft, it can make things easier in comparison. But there is a lot of hidden details on those ones. I'm gonna show them. Yeah, those ones. Gonna wait Painter to open. Meanwhile, so
Yeah.
yeah,
What's striking on those is
I tried to.
the amount of detail that you get in the roughness and how it's breaking up the light. Like I thought that was really striking to see.
Mm, yeah, thank you. Oh, now it's open. So yeah, with those ones, they got the same organization. They got the wood, the paint, and the dirt and the sharpen. So I'm gonna turn off those to have this nice ebony wood. So yeah, ebony wood is what I like about this wood. It's very. This is the most common wood used for African for wood carving in Africa. So after I made this, but you can see that I didn't put the cell noise, like the Kifebe one, because I wanted to have this polished, polished and soft effect. So after I made this wood, I directly, like the keyfrabe, gonna turn off those. Yeah, I directly applied black black paint, and I saw that when I applied this black paint, I lost a little bit of wooden details. So I put those those masks together, the grain, the directional noise, and I played with the eight a little bit, just a little bit, just to be soft and not too strong, and the roughness, not to have this
So that directional
direction in.
noise is that's where you're getting
Yeah,
a lot of that kind of that micro wood detail like that. Is that correct?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's man,
yes,
that's
exactly.
great. It looks wonderful.
And after that, I applied some a very noisy mask, the fractal sun base. It's very great when you want to have a lot of micro noises on the roughness, because without it, it looks very, very rough. So I put it with a high roughness value, and you have these little dots in the specularity.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite part. I mean, it just it that like when you look at the render and
And
how it looks. I mean, that just breaks up the highlight just perfectly.
yeah, and after those grain and fractal, those horizontal grain and fractal, I wanted to apply directly on this black paint some imperfections on the curvature, on the edges, to be more precise, like those ones. It's like the painter is peeling a little bit, it's going off. I wanted them to be very clean, but at some time a little bit dirty, just a little bit, to feel a bit more natural. So after all this, I paint my white part as the for the Ndebele patterns, and the green one. And like the Kifebe mask, I still kept the same colors as the Kifebe one. I wanted them to be very all the same colors on everything, on the burst, on the all the mask and everything, like the Ndebele are doing with their houses. They are using the same colors for everything: the yellow, gray, pink, blue, red, orange, and green. That's the colors that Esther Malangu and her family are using. Some other Ndebele families are using other colors, but I love this family of colors that Esther Malangu is using, and it's very, it's very beautiful. So it was a this mask actually was a little bit harder on this one, since there is a big big open space. The Kifebe one, there is a lot of break breaks in the shape, but this one was just like a wall, like a blank, like a flat canvas. So I really struggled a bit with the all those curved lines. Let's see, right? If I'm gonna try to reproduce them just quickly, but yeah, just took my black layer and directly painted on it like this. Uh, it's saving again. Yeah, yeah, and with the right brush, of course. And I liked just to try a lot of different brushes to see which one was the best. it's really hard. I spent a lot of time on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but yeah, patience, a lot of patience, a lot of commitment, and I can't imagine what it's like to be, there in South Africa and paint all those Ndebele buildings. They are very skillful. They got skills. Those lady, I got a huge respect for them.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So many intricate details. Yeah, it's man, it's
Yeah.
very
So
very time consuming.
you yeah, very time consuming. You really have to be patient. That's the only word that I can find. You really have to be patient and not rushing, and all your lines are gonna be very weird.
Yeah, also I guess you can think of it's like
Like I
like a
did
lab.
a minute ago.
Yeah. Right. And also probably think of it like it's like a labor of love, you know? It's like just an enjoyment to do. So,
No, yes, yes, of course. It's yeah. So this one have um, a few more layers for the roughness. You can see those tiny scratches and appearing wood here on the curvatures. So I'm gonna open those height details. So I did a master, like a master scratch and imperfection with the height imperfection. I called it noise scratch. So, and those details, I'm gonna show them again. Um, when I watch those masks on internet, you can't really see those tiny details. So I spent a lot of time with the mask that I have here at home, and I was playing with them like for hours and moving them, in my house. Like my house is a huge, big HDR, and to spot all those tiny details on the mask. And I think it's important to, yeah, like I said, it's really important to know how the real props works. And if you have them, if you have one of those props in your house, play with them. It's you're gonna see way more details than in internet, except if you have, of course, an HD image of it. And yeah, a lot of dirt on this one. A lot of dirt. This one is it's a funny thing that I spotted on one of my masks. This one is how can I say that? It's glue, like a glue, because they were s- um, putting those marks on the wall, like where I bought them in Montreal in a Senegalese shop, and they were sticking um, things like decorations on it, and sometimes they were putting them on the wall, not with a rope or whatever. They was just applying some glue on it and put them straight on the wall, and that left a lot of imperfections. And those imperfections are quite beautiful. I like them. It's making them a little bit more unique, like those kind of things
yeah, that's awesome that you put that
that you
in the
can see.
artwork too. I mean, it really makes it really makes things just a huge difference in that level of detail.
And
Is that a
what I like to
what's
the
the mask you're using for that? The grunge map, is that? Was it is it the which one is that?
This one,
Yeah,
this one is the grunge leak
yeah, okay.
large.
Yeah, the last one that you showed. Okay, that's the grunge map you use. Grunge leak large. That's what it. Okay, cool. So you're using that to
Yeah,
create those like glue residue and things like that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm, And yeah, by spending a lot of time with research and everything, I learned so much with African, in about African culture, and to spot the mask by, to split everything, like country, like this mask is coming from this country, this mask is coming from this country, it's painted that way, it's made for this, and I just, yeah, enjoyed my time by doing those masks, those masks. It's really hard to say masks in plural in English, by the way. Masks.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just gonna show you another one, the last one, HMT one. Yeah, discard. Yes. Before that, yeah. So I'm just gonna show you this one, this particular, this one. What I liked about this one is that there is a metallic, a metallic part on it, and this ornament, they are making this ornament and putting them on the mask. And when I saw that, I think asked myself that it would be funny to do all those details directly on the height map with Substance. So no, it's still not open. I'm gonna wait a little bit more. But yeah, Ghanaian mask have a lot of those metallic ornaments. Yeah, those. Is it is it open yet? No, still not open. This one is a little bit heavier than the other ones.
What kind of poly count do you know? Like, because you actually sculpted these yourself, right, in ZBrush?
Yes, I sculpted everything on ZBrush. If you And for the polycount, don't ask me about polycount West, please.
Okay. Yeah.
No, all of those masks are pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm gonna show you the Kifibe one, for example. Since normally I already opened it, it's gonna open way more faster. But I try to keep things very low poly because I knew that I was gonna make some renders and video about it using a real-time renders like Unity or Marmosets. So I tried to keep things reasonable, reasonable. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you the key for the one. But yeah, everything was made on ZBrush. Everything was sculpted on ZBrush, and I tried to keep things simple on ZBrush. I didn't want to have, for example, all those wooden details on ZBrush because I wanted to have the ability to play and change and having all those parameters on Substance Painter. That's the thing that I don't really like to make a lot of noise in ZBrush and not being happy with it and going back on ZBrush and bake it again, 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 and again. So Substance gave me the opportunity to play with a lot of parameters very easy.
Yeah, you can have a lot of iteration
My
quickly
masks are
with Substance
very,
Painter.
very high. Yeah, I'm gonna try to. Yeah, shouldn't close. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit more. But yeah, the the thing is, the first mistake that I made was to paint everything and to render, not to render, but I had the wrong HDR, the wrong environment, and the environment can change a lot of things with the roughness, the the colors and everything. For example, I'm gonna show you the wireframe.
Yeah, it's loaded now, right? There we go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Try to keep things reasonable. So around 8K triangles. Yeah, I wanted to have all those shapes. I could have just make those part flat and bake everything, but since I knew that I wanted to have some close shots on the mask, I tried to keep those shapes in. Yes. And yeah, at the beginning when you start a project, like yeah, the first mistake that I made was to use a colorful environment. So with the colors and everything, that messed up everything. So I had to go back on each layers and try to fix the colors. So if I have a little tips, try to find a good white and black HDRI and work everything directly on with those studio ones.
Oh yeah, okay. So it keeps your overall kind of your values like just uniform as you're painting, especially since you're using such specific saturated color values.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Ashanti. Ashanti. Yeah. It's gone. Okay, that's good. But yeah, it wasn't really hard to do everything, but I think the hardest thing was the patience and to learn to not be frustrated by having lines not very straight, and to stop myself from using the shortcut with the mouse to have those straight lines.
Yeah. Hey, the ruler's in your mind, you know?
uh, yeah, the rulers is in my mind.
Yeah.
Every time I was telling myself this sentence, no, the ruler is in my mind, don't use the mouth, ruler in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, learning from the project. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly talk to you about the things, like the big things that I learned by doing those kind of those kind of art. Is The first was to break noise, because the first mistake that I did with the keyframe ones was, when I put the cell noise was going everywhere seamlessly. Like you can see that the mask is going on other shapes, and I didn't see I didn't see this mistake before watching again those wood carver, how they made the mask. And yeah, my bust, when I did the bronze texture of the bust, I wanted it to be very beautiful, very glossy, very soft, very shiny, very new, like the Charles Cordier sculpture that you can see here. You know, the Charles Cordier sculpture is very soft and clean. But the thing is, since I wanted to have multiple colors, like uh, like like gold and other things, everything was a little bit crushed. Every detail was it wasn't very visible, since everything was glossy and kind of the same colors. So I had to break this glossy effect with a lot of dirt on, especially on the with the help of the curvature map. About the culture, yeah, of course, the main goal, since the main goal was to to learn a little bit more about the Ndebele culture and the mask, I bought a lot of books and I watched a lot of documentaries to help me with this project. And I really, every time I'm learning something new about African culture, I'm getting slightly better in my artwork, and I'm uh, yeah, that's everything that I'm looking for.
And that's really cool that
How to hold
it's
the pen.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool that it's also about, like, not just you producing this artwork, but it's also you, like, taking this journey, and for your own self. Like, you're learning, more culture, you're learning more about different skills that you can use
Yeah.
in further projects. That's really awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. It wasn't a easy journey, it's to start, and because before that I was really into hard surface and fantasy stuff. And yeah, to go into this journey, was very bring me joy a lot. That's bring me a lot of joy. And that's making my parents very proud. It's making my parents very proud. So I'm enjoying my time. My family is happy. By the way, hi mom and dad. My mom and dad, are they gonna kill me if I don't do that?
Yeah. Hey, mom and dad.
Yeah. And yeah, by painting everything by hands, I learned a lot about just holding a pen. It's not easy to hold the pen and to just do straight lines, because as an environment artist, I'm doing a lot of structures, architecture stuff. I don't really need sometimes, to go through with my welcome and paint stuff. And patience, patience, a lot of patience, and a lot of break times. A lot of I had to take a lot of breaks because I almost, yeah, lost my mind at some point. Like, this line is not straight, this one is not straight either. I need to be better. I'm gonna take a break, drink some water, watch some documentaries, and go back on it. So yeah, especially this one, since this one is round, to
Oh,
make the
yeah.
yeah, to make those lines follow the shape of the mask. Yeah, I think I spent a lot of time on it. But I know that I got some friends and other artists that are very familiar with this kind of art, to like hand painted stuff. And I got a huge respect for them because it's not easy, but you have to begin somewhere. So
Yeah, yeah, and the detail you have here is really mind-blowing. I mean, just looking at, I mean, you can really see, like, paint strokes and things like that. I mean, it's quite awesome.
thank you. And I wanted to show you the height, the metallic pattern, the metallic part of this mask. So I painted everything with brushes. I tried to split the different parts in different painted layer to not, you know, to have some kind of organization. And after that, it was a little bit too, yeah, too noisy, since it's small, everything was a little bit grungy. So I applied a slight blur on it to make those things way more softer. And then I applied a sharpen because I lost with the blur. With the blur, I lost some details. I can show you with the mask view. That's the initial paint. That's with the blur, and that's with the sharpen. And then after that, I played a little bit with a level layer, just to bring back some other details that I lost through this process. Yeah. And to add more details, even more details, I add an anchor. And with this anchor, I've been able to catch all those curvatures and cavity, and I applied a slight mask to reveal the metallic part, you know. Like without the mask. And yeah, with the help of the anchor, I've been able to catch those curvatures. And it's like I've baked this part, so I'm very happy with the result. I don't have to go to ZBrush and bake this again. And I could even add more details on it directly on with Painter. Yes. So yeah, even these parts, uh, I did a lot of things here by hand. So this even the metallic part can easily go in with the patience, you know, the patient things that I was talking about. So, so yeah,
Awesome, man. Thank you so much,
do you
Jeryce.
have some questions?
Yes, we definitely do. So I'm going to jump over here to the questions that Marine has been putting together for me. Can you hear me? Okay, we are having some internet connections.
I can hear you okay.
Jeryce?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry
You're
about that.
lagging just a little bit, but I can hear you. I can hear you
Yeah.
speaking.
Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. We're having just some issues, man. It's just around the world, so the internet's just highly congested. So, but we'll get through it. Okay, so
Yeah.
here we have some questions we'll get through here. So for modeling, see,
Mm-hmm.
I guess for hard surface we should model more in the order that it's machined. So I guess that's asking more about going back to how you were looking at the physical workflow or the physical creation of the asset or the real world object. Like, so how did you go about your hard
Mm-hmm.
surface modeling of that?
I did everything on ZBrush. Basically, I was just masking shapes. I'm gonna show you. So for example, here you can see I was just after I had the sphere, the initial shape, I was just masking with the ZBrush some shapes and just push them over, you know, scale them and refining them. And yeah, just spent a lot of time on ZBrush. I didn't use any other um, softwares. I was just using some brushes with ZBrush to polish and flatten everything.
Are these meshes, they're decimated? Did you use Decimation Master in ZBrush, or how did you get the models out of ZBrush?
So yeah, for the Kifibe one, I used the Kifibe, and other ones I used the decimations. Yeah, and on the let me show you on the Odate one, I used the zero measure.
And so with tessellation, you were using tessellation shader inside of Painter, is that right?
I used the tessellation just on the bust, on the lady, the Ndebele bust, but on the other mask I didn't use any tessellations. I just used height map. I just used the height map.
Okay, okay. In that case, can you show the UVs that you're working with? We
Yes,
had some users wanting to see what the UV layout looked like.
that's the UV for the Ashanti one.
Yeah. And did you use, I guess, ZBrush UV tools to do that?
For
Was it
this
UV
one,
Master?
yeah, for this one I used the ZBrush UV tool, but for the Kifebe one I used the UV from Substance Painter.
Oh, awesome. Okay. The auto UV solution.
Yeah, the auto UV solution.
All right. So this other question here was for lighting. So I think you covered this a bit when you talked about the environment maps. But again, it was commented that the light and shadows look really nice for the objects, and I think you're using any of the studio environments. Is that correct?
Yes, so I'm using the Studio 5 for every one of them. Studio 5 for every one of them, and you can turn on the shadows on the, yes, on the display settings. Display settings. Average. So yeah, I just, yeah, turn on the shadows and use the Studio 5. The Studio 3 is good for to have a beauty shot, but he has a little bit of colors on it, and I really wanted something with a flat color, so I used the Studio 5. But the Studio 3 is really beautiful. There is a
Yeah.
lot of, it's giving a lot of specularity on the object, and with the shadows on,
Yeah.
can
It looks really
see
nice. Yeah.
you can see how it's gonna look like after you finished everything.
Okay, so here's a question. So it says it's let's see, it's clear layering a lot of generators mask can really slow down performance. Let's see, let me make sure I'm reading this right. If say I were satisfied with the result, is there a way to collapse the layer stack export mask?
Yeah, yes, of course. You can right click on it, and you can save those masks. You can even export export masks to file, export mask to clipboard, and to make another one. You can put them together, very easily.
Yeah, and that's something we should talk to the painter team about as well, because it would be nice if we could collapse that mask without having to go through that manual
Hmm.
process of exporting. So yeah, that's a great feature request too to take a look at.
Yeah.
So the next one, this is a good question as well. This one's which directional noise was what? So earlier in one of the masks, you were talking about the wood detail that you were bringing out, and you used a directional
Yeah.
noise, and you also had I think it was the fractal sum noise. Like, what can you clarify those?
Okay. So I use normally the same noise for this one. So I'm gonna go through. No, that's the metal part, wood accumulation. So yeah, just use the vertical one. Let me try to find it here. Wood noise, wood accumulation, wooden part. 8 metal parts. Yes. So yeah, I use this ratio directional noise one that you can find very easy on the procedural one, on the procedural one in your shelf. Directional noise. So there is quite a few that you can use. But me, yeah, I really like the first one, and I used the triplanar projection feature on it to have it seamlessly on some part, and not on this one, but for example on the Kifebe one, I was just duplicating this horizontal mask, and for example I was turning him, rotating him a little bit to have another angle, and I was just masking the areas that I didn't want it. And for the fractal one, I can make it really quickly. For the fractal one, I just use the fill with a 3D Perlin noise. Where is it? No, not the Perlin, not the cell one. Cell, yes, this one. And I turned off the color, the roughness, everything. I was just trying to catch the height one, the height map. And I inverted this cell with a level. I added a level, inverted it, and now I have this carving effect. It's a it's really nice effect and really simple and easy to do.
Yeah, that's really cool. Also, it's procedurally done, so you can easily make changes or whatever. You're not like so much really baking that into the effect or the
Yeah,
layer.
yeah, of course.
So while you're
So
here
that's it
viewing this,
for the details.
oh sorry, Jeryce, while you're here viewing this mask, we have some users also asking if you could show the wireframe once again.
On this one,
Yeah, sure, yeah.
this one, wait, this one I think I tessellated it. Wait, paint. Yeah, this one I tessellated it. I tessellated. It's so for this one I tried the zero measure on the ZBrush, and for the Kifebe one I used the decimation master. So yeah, this one is made with the zero measure.
Yeah, that's a good jumping off point too, because one of the other questions was talking about decimation master for retopology, and they're asking, is that used in production while working in studios to get game ready assets, or is this just something used for this project?
The decimation,
Yeah.
it
Is that
depends. It depends,
depends? Yeah.
I would say, because it depends on your pipeline, Your I think that's the question that you ask directly to your lead. In some
Yeah.
companies, you can, for example, on cliffs and rocks, You can use. I think decimation is a good thing on rocks, for example,
Yeah. But it's not gonna be like on a hero asset, like a character or something like that, probably.
because yeah, if you had to, no, 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 for a hero asset or a weapon or something really really important, no, you will have to go do the topology again, to make it more cleaner, more clean.
So in this project, are you working in 4K? And how long did it take for one of these masks?
So this one, I exported everything in, at the end, I export everything in 4K, but I like to work in 1K or 2K. It's way more faster and easier. But I can put it in 4K, this one, for example. I bake. I didn't talk about the bake, but I'm baking everything in 4K, by the way. I have a RTX, so it's make things way faster.
Yeah.
So I can allow myself to bake those things in 4K, and I even tried 8K one day, and it went well.
Oh, that's good to hear. How long did it take you to create one of these masks?
So one of these masks, the ZBrush modeling is quite faster. I did it maybe in one day, one mask in ZBrush in one day, and for the texturing, it depends on the mask, but the keyframe bit took me a long time, maybe I would say 2 days, 3 days, three
Okay.
days, yeah,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
maybe 2 days for the other ones. No, the keyframe bit way more than 3 days. I would say five. I would say,
I was like,
because
yeah,
sometimes
it's
I was making some patterns. I
yeah, that was
was
like pretty
making some
quick.
patterns. I was happy
Yeah.
with it, and when I put the yeah, yeah. When I put them all together, I was like, no, this one is not, no, it's not working with the other ones. No, this one get the patterns are way too big, way too small. So I was adjusting a lot, So I can't really give a day, but average, I would say, yeah, 3 days. One day for the ZBrush model, and 2 to 5 days for the texturing.
Okay, so Jeryce, I'll have one more question here for you. So, do you provide tutorials or mentorships? Do you have anything like that, that you do on your site? Do you have your own YouTube channel, anything like that for teaching?
No, I keep everything for me. No.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I plan to put some. No, I'm planning to, because I need to learn more about about it. I need to learn more about it and to feel more comfortable before sharing this. So after a couple of masks and other assets, I'm planning, yeah, to upload some tutorials on ArtStation, on the ArtStation Market Store or Marketplace, or even doing some YouTube tutorials.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm sure like everybody would love to see that, and they're gonna look forward to when you actually have that content available. That's gonna be great.
Thank you.
Well, Jeryce, we're getting close to our time here, so why don't you can go ahead and do stop your screen share, and I'm gonna take us over to our meeting
Hmm.
view so we can start to close things out. All right. So yeah, we finished up our QA, and so one of the things that I do want to mention to everyone is we have a new live stream coming up again. So we had some issues with our live stream today. Internet is very congested. We're in kind of an uncharted times for everyone in the world. So we do apologize for any of the delays that we had. I was recording all of this straight to my PC, so we'll be able to upload an uninterrupted version of that. So again, please look out for that. But with that said, we do have more live streams planned. The next one is coming up on May 7th, and this is going to be with Magdalena. Between cute and creepy, she's gonna take us through the process of the Mandrake baby project that she created. It's very interesting and quite cool. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. And so, Jeryce, man, this was awesome. I greatly enjoyed hanging out with you. I loved
Yeah,
yeah, man. Your personality is awesome. Your artwork is awesome, man. So it was a lot of fun. And I got to say, man, it was really an honor to see what you produce. Very cool.
thank you.
And so, yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome to see. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think it's the delay is going across. You get ready to say something?
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, the day
Yeah,
is gonna cross. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
No, wait, and when you're over, you say over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're back to that, man. We're back to like walkie-talkie level stuff because of that. Okay. Wes, over. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for everything, and to be able, to talk about this and showing some African cultures on this platform that Substance is, it's a chance. So thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, Jeryce. So we're gonna just go ahead and close this
Over.
out. Yeah, over. Yeah, great. So we're gonna go ahead and close this out. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Again, I apologize. We had so many, internet connection issues. But again, we have this recorded, so we'll be able to give you guys an uninterrupted version. So special thanks out there to Jeryce for joining me. And to everyone who was able to join us online. Take care, everyone. Be safe, and we will see you next time.